I'm gonna put up the slide, Heather.
Yes.
Oh, job seekers get pickier on pay. So this is actually pretty interesting. We have seen so much movement in the job market in terms of layoffs and people being let go, especially in the tech sector and in many other sectors. And so one of the things that's interesting is that with every, and I know this is like very simplistic analogy, and I apologize, for every action, there's a reaction. And right now we're seeing the fact that if you want somebody to move and take a new job with your organization, especially after all of this disruption in the market and all these moves and all these layoffs, people are asking for more money. People are asking for a
Mm-hmm.
sizable increase. So they're not moving for um, a little bit more. They're not moving for, they're not doing a lateral. They're asking for more money. And so it's very interesting that that's now a new dynamic and that's happening. But it doesn't surprise me because I think that everyone who is hiring and everyone who's a job seeker right now is a lot more sophisticated in their approaches than they were, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago. So things have really changed. So you may say, hey, we're going to cut costs and we're going to let people go, but the new people are costing you more money. And I find that very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And obviously, inflation is paying, paying and playing a big part in this. It's just not going down. So people want to make up for that inflation wage that they're having to deal with. It's still went up to 3.2%, so it's still going up. The gender gap continues to widen, although that one surprises me a little bit. I thought things were going a little bit better there from everything that we're seeing. And um, basically, what this means for employees is that they want more money. I mean, they're gonna stick to their guns, and sometimes the thing that you know is better than the thing that you don't know. So if you're going to jump into a new situation, it's going to be really worth your while. And then this is just basically the I think the new way things are going to be. People are not going to cost less; they're going to cost more, even in difficult times with companies not doing as well. People are going to ask for more money. So, in terms of what we're seeing and what was being talked about quite a bit this week, this seems to be a very hot topic right now.
Yep, it is, and I think that we've gone from an environment where uh, employees are making moves, during the, before the pandemic and during the pandemic. They could kind of choose and pick, what they wanted to do, and they were making moves very easily because they knew or felt comfortable that the job market was going to remain strong. So then we went from that to lots of layoffs. And you're exactly right. I think now, organizations are being a lot more careful with how much they want to spend, and then it's getting tougher to pull people out of companies. You know the Whereas before job stability was not important, now
Mm-hmm.
people are saying, I really want, it's got to be the right move, and it's got to be the right money and the right flexibility to make the move, or else I don't want to risk, what I've got today, because, they're seeing friends and family, looking for work, when they thought they had stable jobs. So yeah, it is a very different market. Uh, and we even had a situation where, uh, you know, one of the folks that we were recruiting for one of our companies, uh, the this was probably the latter part of last year, where the person basically had to take an offer that was probably $50,000 less than they would have taken 6 months before,
Ooh.
because of the situation in the job market. And this was a software developer, in the Bay Area that you know that could have, that was used to making, could have made a lot more, and it be in the 6 months of time, caused that to, to really, have a change in their offer, and they still accepted it, but they knew it was just a different environment. So it's a tough market.
Well, that must be a person that doesn't know AI and is basically a developer who has skills that you can use on or that AI,
Yeah,
because
definitely that he was not not an AI developer for sure.
because those people are not taking job cuts. In fact, I just heard a story about a very, very well-known company, and if I said it, you would know them. Absolutely everyone would know them. And somebody told me within their organization that knew this fact that they had a software engineer who was one of their top AI developers, and he had an offer to go to Meta, and they paid him a $5 million cash retention bonus, and that was just like literally 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So if
Holy cow.
you are in that job category,
yeah.
you're not taking any
Reductions.
type of reductions. So
Yeah. No, and I think the other point that you made around, job seekers, knowing, the market and knowing more information. I think right now it's very data driven, and you know, with all of the available information out there, if somebody is, at a certain skill level and job level, they can check, pay scale. They can check a lot of available tools out there that can tell them what they're worth, and what the range for that kind of a role is. So there's no more negotiating down. Companies trying to, get people on the cheap. It's a lot different environment. I mean, people are know what they're worth, and they're only going to make the move when it makes financial sense for them.
and
Uh,
even
so
if
we're
and
gonna,
even if you don't really know your worth, even if you have somewhat of a vague idea about what
yeah,
you're worth, you're gonna say, "Hey, look, for me to move, it's gonna cost you 10,000. For me to make a move, it's gonna cost me $10,000 more and a signing
yeah,
bonus. So,
yeah,
what do you think?"
yeah,
And if you really
yeah,
want that person, you either got to go start your recruiting cycle all over again, or you need to pay the person. And I think the thing there is you need to be very sophisticated in your recruitment process. Are you qualifying upfront what the candidates want to make? Meaning, be really clear with me about what you're looking for in this job, and
Hmm.
know that up front, so that at the tail end of the job, it's not all of this discussion about, oh my gosh, this person wants this, we had no idea. And it's always surprising to me how much that happens with recruiting functions or staffing functions that are not very sophisticated and don't do that. Some people, some recruiters, they work so quickly and they're trying to move so many racks that some of the things that you would think are very simplistic to keep in mind, like making sure that you understand what the person wants and can that job bear that price, get overlooked. But that's why this is going to be even more critical going forward, because people are not going to be less expensive coming in the door. They are going to be more expensive.
And that is and that on that point, Jason, it's the entire comp. It's not just what do you want your paycheck to be? And a lot of
Oh,
recruiters miss
heck
that,
yeah.
oh
they
yeah,
miss all those
exactly,
ancillary, and then you get
yeah,
down to
yeah,
the bottom line, and it's like, oh, well, you have a huge bonus coming
yeah,
next month, and you don't want to
yeah,
leave yet or
Well,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, not
yeah.
even
That's a big
that.
part of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's yeah,
you even have to look at benefits. Like there's people
Yeah.
that, they look at the benefits costs, are like, well, wait a minute, it's going to cost me
yeah,
$400 more a month to get on your benefits as opposed to the
Mhm.
benefits that I'm on right now. I'm not
yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
I'm not going to, you know, lose out on $400 a month because your benefits are more expensive. And so you're right, it's everything.
yeah. Yeah, and I think the other thing too is like you said, I think recruiting organizations have got to be more smart, and they've got to ask the right questions. If somebody's 2 or 3 months away from their year-end bonus, they're not going to leave, no matter how bad you want them. You know, you're going to have to buy that bonus out,
Mhm.
to get them to move. So you better know that up front, or else you're going to look really bad in front of your leadership and your higher manager. And then the other one is equity. I mean, now a lot of employees have equity, and the value of that equity could be a handcuff. If you've got, you know, $500,000 of value in the equity that's going to vest over the next couple of years, it's going to be really tough to buy that person out of that equity. But some companies will do it, just to hire the right person. But as a staffing leader or recruiting person, you've got to understand that, and those are all the data points that have to factor into finding the right candidate.
As a rule, I would say if you have that much equity on the table, unless you're a C-suite or a very, very sophisticated engineering person, in most instances, not a lot of companies are going to pay $500,000 to
Yep.
buy out your
Yep.
equity. So if you've got
Yeah.
a lot of equity sitting there on the plate, you probably are best off staying where you're at. Now, there, if you have a really hot skill set, more power to you. You
Yeah.
probably will
Yeah.
get it. But if not, I think the majority of us who have, that big of a piece of equity, we're not going to get bought out. You're going to have
Yeah.
to work your time until it pays out.
As we used to call it, resting investing.
Let's not say that. You're not resting. These people better be pushing it because they're going to not be there. So we don't want anybody to rest and invest. We want you to work your little tushies off and put out best effort. So that's our recommendation.
Yeah. We had acquisitions where some of the leaders were they had to stick around for 24 months. So they were, how much value they're adding. You just you hope they were, but you just never know. That's why that term popped up.
Yeah, well, those conversations are heating up because you see a lot of people are lighting up the remote workers because they don't feel like they're getting the production that they need out of them.
Yeah.
And then, once those people start to come back into the office, they're going to be lighting those people up to get production, and we're going to be measuring efficiency and productivity and all that. So those conversations in this environment, especially with so many companies having laid off so many people and so much more thinly staffed, it's going to be really difficult, I think, for anybody to hide right now. If you're not producing, you're not going to be around, which is another plug for the fact that we've been seeing a lot of employee relations issues, a lot of things coming up where people are being managed and moved out. And then the other thing is we can really help you with a lot of these pay challenges. We've got a great comp team. And if you're looking at your ranges, or if you're having a hard time hiring, or you're concerned about what your bands look like, or you're concerned about your job titles or anything else, we can help engage on that to make sure that you're keeping up with the market right now, which is changing fast, regardless of whether it's a hot economy or a slower economy. These bands are changing quickly, and and AI is having a lot to do with it. Jobs that were super valuable are a little less valuable, and jobs that we've never heard of, like prompt engineers and AI engineers, are becoming more valuable. So these ranges are really changing quickly.
Yep, so true. And I think one of the you had talked about employee relations challenges. We just helped an organization last week with a challenging situation where they really didn't know how to manage an employee out of the company. And after we spoke with them for 30 minutes, we were able to come up with a strategy. We helped them develop the documents, the releases, and even sat side by side with the manager and notified the employee, and moved the employee out of the organization. So, so it can be done. But you got to do it the right way. And we've gotten nothing but positive feedback, from that organization because we were able to help them so quickly, and and they felt much more comfortable with the whole situation. So, employee relations are an area we can help, organizations with very, very quickly, and fix situations that are that are problems.
After doing about 10,000 of these, we should probably be pretty good at them. At
Yeah,
this
yeah,
point.
exactly, exactly. And then this week here in San Antonio, we're going to do a couple of presentations. One on pay trends and recommendations for organizations. So that's happening tomorrow. And then Jason, you're doing a session also tomorrow.
Yes, I am. I'm almost
Yeah.
embarrassed to say what it's about.
What is it about? I wonder.
It's two little words, AI.
There you go. There you go. That's exactly it. So, so really excited about doing that presentation here in town, and and walked into the airport, and the whole place was decorated for fiesta. It's a big 10-day celebration. So the airport was decorated. It was amazing. So
Can AI decorate yet? Or is it capable of doing that? Or just makes
Uh,
suggestions for decorating?
Yeah, it's kind of
Maybe.
tough. Kind of tough, but it could.
We're gonna
You have
get
to tell
there.
it. You'd have to tell it how to decorate, but
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there soon. All right. Well, that's great. We look forward to talking about pay and talking about AI. In fact, we just did a panel yesterday, Heather, about AI. So that was basically from the MRA round table that we've been doing. We talked about AI to them in a longer discussion about 3 weeks ago. And then we did the roundtable to conclude the session. So we have a lot more AI topics coming up. So we'll be continuing to chat about that and chatting about our AI partners and all things that we're doing there. So, okay, Ray, if they have to get a hold of you, not if they have to get a hold of you, when they want to get a hold of you.
Please, send me an email at ray, R-E-Y, at thrivehrconsulting.com.
Heather, how do they get a hold of you?
Heather.Simmons at thrivehrconsulting.com, also on LinkedIn.
And I'm Jason at Thrive HR Consulting, and I'm on LinkedIn. So hit me up anywhere that you would like the kids say. Do the kids still say "hit me up," or is that is that old term? What do they say now? Do you know what they say? I have to ask my daughter what they say.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'll find out before next week.
Yeah, she'll probably laugh at me and say, "Hit me up." What does that mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, she's 15. Exactly. She'll know the lingo.
The lingo is important.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you guys have a great rest of the day.
You too. Take care.
All righty.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.